vais ajouter des enveloppes de poche. Je viens de passer une nuit un peu agitée là. Et tout ça avec un des éclairs. C'est pas bon.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Barcelona Boat Race live show. The leader, Ximena Pujolar, is already sailing in the Mediterranean. Andy Robertson is here with us in the set in Barcelona. Welcome to Barcelona, Andy.
Thank you.
Well, last miles for Ximena Pujolar.
Yeah, last night for Ximena Pujolar was not that easy, quite light and shifty. Presently, they're getting into slightly better breeze, and I think they'll be fairly downwind and in light breezes all the way up to the Balearics, and the last bit into Barcelona. Expecting them round about the end of the morning on Wednesday. I think the last bit will be quite breezy from the northeast, so quite complex.
All right, so let's see the 3D animation. Let's have a look to the whole fleet, which is the situation.
Indeed, News. Then looking at the flyover for today for the Barcelona World Race, then Ximena Pujolar passing Gibraltar yesterday morning into fairly light winds in the west of the Alboran Sea, and that's been quite difficult for them since then. Then Neutrogena and Gaius Centros Auditivos in the northeasterly trades, still coming upwind. Further back down the fleet, just crossing the equator, or recently crossed, still in the doldrums. One Planet, One Ocean in the east and We Are Water in the west. They should emerge out of the doldrums into the northeasterly this afternoon or evening. Then in a land of their own, really, Renault Captur now getting into more settled trade winds, and Spirit of Hungary just behind the cold front and sailing quite well.
Okay, so let's take a look to the current leaderboard from this morning. Let's see, Ximena Pujolar leading the fleet.
That's right, Ximena Pujolar leading the fleet. They have about 377 miles to go at 9 o'clock this morning. They're making about 6.8 knots of VMG. Neutrogena just under 1,200 miles behind them, and Gaius 146 miles to the southwest of Neutrogena. One Planet, One Ocean at 2,545 miles behind the leader, of course, but still very close. Lateral separation about 140 miles with We Are Water. Renault just going quite well, and so too Spirit of Hungary.
The equator crossing is one of the most exciting moments of the Barcelona World Race, of this round-the-world race. One Planet, One Ocean and Pharmaton has entered the northern hemisphere just this weekend. It was yesterday morning, and they have sent us a video of this exciting moment.
Explica'ns a veure on estem ara mateix.
Doncs ara mateix estem a punt de creuar l'Equador. Mireu, si m'acompanyeu aquí en el GPS, veieu, estem a la latitud 00 i els segons estan a punt de passar del sud al nord. Ara aguantem aquí una mica i veurem com passem del sud al nord. I ja estem de pujada cap a Barcelona, entrarem a l'hemisferi nord, que la veritat és que no sé si feia potser més de 60 o 70 dies que no hi érem, i en tenim moltes ganes. Mireu, estem a punt. 4, 3, 2, 1... Toma, ja hem canviat. Estem a l'hemisferi nord. I si m'acompanyeu aquí a la drena, en el mapa, veieu? Aquí el continent sud-americà, Àfrica, i nosaltres som aquest vaixell de color taronja, i ja estem passant la ratlla. Aquesta ratlla d'aquí també és l'Equador, i estem passant la ratlla. La veritat és que és un moment molt emocionant. De gallina de piel, Gallina de piel. Dídac?
Sí, home, sí. Ja ho tenim, això.
Res, ja queda molt poquet per arribar a Barcelona, comparat amb tot el que portem. Mira, hi queden, ara t'ho dic, menys de 3.000 milles, 2.988. Menys de 3.000 milles per arribar a Barcelona.
This was Alex Gelabert and Didac Costa, the happiness of going through the equator and entering the northern hemisphere, which is the moment when they start to feel they are finishing the race.
That's right. I mean, nice to see that energy on board, Neos. Really strong feelings, I think, between the two of them at that point, and that's really characterised their race all the way through. I think we also spoke with Jörg Riechers this morning as well, and not quite the same energy.
Yeah, that's right. We have talked to Jörg Riechers this morning on board Renault Captur, and we know that they are feeling quite, let's say, strange because they have been through a very light wind area.
That's right. It's been very complex for them, and I think they're feeling particularly lonely, not really part of the race. They have one boat 1,000 miles behind, one boat 1,000 miles ahead.
Let's listen to Jörg Riechers.
It's a bit boring because we got no concurrence. So we are water and Bonn Ocean are 1,000 miles ahead, and Spirit of Hungary is 1,000 miles behind. So we feel a little bit lonely here. Now we finally reached a little bit of trade winds. So we have got easterly winds now, which is good. So we can go directly to doldrums. And the last 2 days were horrible because we were beating and pretty light air. So it costs us a lot of distance. So, but from now on, it should be more straightforward and on a faster road to Barcelona. I think we will see in 2 days, in 2 days' time. So the doldrums are just a couple of miles behind the sea, so probably 2.5 to 3 days. Well, I think they've done a really good race. They haven't done any major mistakes, and they choose a really, really, really good boat. So I think it was a combination of a nicely prepared and nicely modified boat and a good team. So they deserve to win. They've done everything right. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's like it was my idea to modify it. So yeah, sure, I'm proud. I mean, proud and sad at the same time. Proud that the boat won. Sad that I'm not on the boat and will arrive probably 2 or 3 weeks later on a boat which is much less fast. So, but that's life. Well, no, everything is fine. Boat works well, but actually, after the New Zealand pit stop, the race on the competitive side for us was over. So now our main goal is to get to Barcelona as fast as possible. But competition-wise, I think it's difficult to get anything out of this race now.
We have to remember that the boat Cheminée Boujoula, Jan and Bernard is racing is the old boat of Jörg Riechers and Sebastian Odegan.
That's right. I mean, that's one of the things I think is hurting Jörg just a little bit. He put a lot of money and a lot of work into the boat. His partner then unfortunately abandoned his project, and Jörg was forced to then move the boat on to pay for it, and it's obviously been chartered as Cheminée Boujoula. So a little bit of a bittersweet times for him just now. He's obviously proud that the work that they did on the boat has paid off very nicely for Bernard and Jean, but at the same time, he would really like to have been there.
Mm-hmm. We have already talked to Sebastian Odegan this morning. Do you remember what did he say?
Yeah, I mean, he was saying a little bit more about the weather, just in particular that they're just on the edge of the high pressure. They changed tack this morning, and in theory the wind should continue to come around for them. They'll be able to make their way towards the doldrums and probably pass through quite some way out to the west, and that should make things a little bit easier for them. But Jörg in particular just saying they're really perhaps been struggling a bit for motivation a couple of days ago. It's been very hard, horrible beating for 2 days, and they've got probably about 2.5 to 3 days up to the doldrums. But as he said, the boat, Cheminée Boujoula, a really, really good boat, and it was his idea to modify it, and it's certainly gone better for them. But he said that for them, the race is kind of over. They're just wanting to get to Barcelona as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm. So, Jörg and Seb, what do you think of them about as a pair?
I think they've worked very, very well as a pair. I think the key thing for them was that they had already done a transatlantic before in Class 40. A very different pair. Seb is pretty much as he looks, a tall, kind of laconic, laid-back, very, very experienced Frenchman, and Jörg is very driven, very, very professional and passionate, and I think they're a kind of chalk and cheese partnership, but it has worked well for them. I think that probably Jörg is hurting a little bit more in terms of his expectations before. We're probably a bit more than Seb's. And so I think in that sense, they probably work quite well supporting each other at this time.
All right, Reunió Capture is approaching the trade winds, but let's see which is the weather situation for the whole fleet with race management.
Good morning, everybody. Today we are the 23rd of March, and a new week is starting on the Barcelona World Race. For the race leaders, Cheminée Pujola, they are, after a very difficult night with very light upsail wind, they are now sailing with northeasterly breeze between 10 to 15 knots of wind. And today they're going to sail in these light winds. In the middle of the day, they're going to be in the situation a bit more complicated with the wind shifting a bit south, which allows them to sail downwind until Mallorca and Ibiza. For Gais and Neutrogena, they are right now 1,000 miles away from Gibraltar Strait, and they are sailing in north breeze between 20 to 15 knots, depending on where they are on the fleet. And Neutrogena has more wind, and that's why Neutrogena is faster than Gais today. For One Planet, One Ocean, Pharmaton, and for We Are Water, they both crossed equator yesterday, and today they are trying to get out of the doldrums, and they should be out of this very bad situation in the next 12 hours, and they should reach northeasterly breeze between 5 to 10, perhaps 15 knots tonight, so they're going to be able to sail north easier. For Renault Capture, they are still very close to the Brazilian coast, and they are now having the trade winds coming from the east, and they're going to be able to sail north. But the question is it better to go along the Brazilian coast, or should they sail a bit more northeast, in order to pass and to get closer from the route? For Spirit of Hungary, they are now just entering the Brazilian coast, and they are having southeasterly winds for 20 knots. And in the next 48 hours, they're going to pass this strong southerly breeze, and they're going to have northwesterly breeze in 48 hours.
So, Andy, we have now some exciting days ahead.
We do indeed. I mean, the finish of Cheminée Pujola, I think, will be especially powerful because they haven't stopped at all. It's a circumnavigation with no stops. They've sailed a great race, and I think it's going to be fantastic to see them coming in to finish here in Barcelona, and then thereafter waiting for Neutrogena. Neutrogena, we know, have had some problems, so that will be a powerful moment for them coming back to Guillermo Altidal's home city, and then, of course, Gaia Centros Auditivos behind them. Nobody really expected them to make them onto the podium, I don't think, so that will be great fun as well.
So these are the three boats we're waiting here in Barcelona. We will wait for you also tomorrow. Thank you very much, and see you.